with those ways that you stay cool, but also keep in mind the rain chances will be higher, so keep that rain jacket or umbrella handy.
God bless America, and God bless Danielle, our producer. This is a bittersweet segment today. As mentioned, this is Danielle's last treat segment. Danielle, would you like to tell us why?
Because I'm expecting baby number 2.
Yay!
And so I'll be staying home with the girls once she's born. It's another girl, so.
We're so excited for you, Danielle. And you know, Joe, you said last treat segment. I think we should say, because she's still here for a little bit, last treat segment as a Fox 10 employee.
Right.
And see if she'll come back.
I mean, how could we not have her back with the incredible creations that she's made over the years here on Studio 10? We've got one today. It's called a bald eagle cheese ball. This does not look like a bald eagle right now.
No, but we're gonna make it into a bald eagle. So I've already prepped the cheese ball. It has bacon bits, cream cheese, ranch seasoning, and what I'm doing right now is I'm going to add the pecans in as the feathers.
So through your time here, you've made lots of cheese balls, starting with the iconic turkey cheese ball back in 2022, you said?
Yes.
You've learned a lot since then, and there she is in all of her glory. She was delicious, but she wasn't pretty.
And then we remade it to do a dessert
You
one.
told me today, too, so we've made a lot, but you told me today, too, you feel like you have mastered the cheese ball recipe since then.
Yeah, I like bacon bits over like regular bacon because it's easier, and then I like, instead of using fresh sour cream like my original cheese ball, just using a ranch packet is much nicer and easier.
Well, the sour cream probably made it really.
That's why it fell apart.
Yeah, but
because I didn't know.
It was so
good.
good.
It did taste good. This one tastes good too.
I love it. Joe, do you want to bring out the
actual one?
Jen, what are your thoughts on the...
I like it. I like that it's been an adventure. We had the recreation a few years later, the redemption of what it looked like. I think that we had some other photos of previous treats.
This was our Shark Week beach
Shark
treat.
Week. So we're actually about to head into Shark Week.
We have Christmas treats. Our first treats ever were Halloween treats.
Ooh, spooky.
They are
And it's
so
funny because it started out
Hey, how about those cheese?
I came on to Studio 10 whenever we got the 10 a.m. show, and I needed to fill content, and I was like, well, I wonder if we could do
Okay,
some
that's
treats.
another 4th of July.
Oh, that's in there because my husband said that was the best thing I've ever made.
Wow.
So I'll be making it again next week.
I think that recipe's on our website too, if you do want to find it. What's so funny is this has just become a staple to where our boss has made Danielle make these. So here's,
look how cute.
so that's the finished product. Let me tell you
unfortunate
a real life message that Danielle sent yesterday.
I'm gonna move.
You stay away. You stay away. So yesterday I was in the studio. Our 10 a.m. producer Liz came in laughing at me saying that Danielle asked if we had a cheese grater here for the eagle's hair.
Look how cute.
I was not included in that.
So it has so cute.
It has
Can I eat this?
Yeah, that's
what are we
yes,
doing?
you can eat it.
All
I don't
right.
like the
I've already
pecans.
taken a picture of it.
right.
And I put crackers around to make a nest.
You're taking from
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you said you can use any type of crackers. You could use Ritz or
Yes.
whatever, right?
Yes, and
Hey, don't
used-
go to
What?
that head.
Well, it's gonna fall apart anyway.
Here.
I used
Oh, no,
white
I was taking
cheddar.
that for me.
White cheddar, and I personally would like the sharp or extra sharp cheddar to go in for a little bit more of a kick.
Flavor's great.
Well, Danielle, we'll tell you in person as well, but we love you. We love your family. It's been so great having you here on the show. You are quite the treat maker, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna try this out.
And also like picking out these treats, I wanted it to be something that you could do with your family at home, or just if you wanted to bring something fun to a party. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. A lot of them are still on our website, so you can go back and make some with the holidays coming up too.
Yeah. Oh, this
It's creative.
I hate you're leaving, but I love the reason you're leaving, which is the most important. But hopefully she'll be back around Thanksgiving to do another
cheese
turkey
ball.
cheese ball.
Are you going to
Tradition at
finish
this
that one
point.
so we can take a shot before the end of the show?
Yes, I'll finish this one.
Okay.
All right. It's delicious.
It's so good, Danielle. The flavor's great. I think the lack of cream cheese is the way to go.
Sour cream.
Sour cream.
Yeah, it's made out of cream
It
cheese.
has cream cheese in it, everyone.
I got cheese.
Hold on, they want an update of where we're at right now.
Oh, so I am still doing the feathers.
Again.
Once I get the feathers up to about here and in the front, I'm going to add the eyes, which are black olives, and then the beak is a pepper that I'm going to put in.
Joe's going to stay away. We're going to go to break. We'll have the finished recipe coming up at the end of the show.
Keeping a close eye on your forecast, and heat the seas already soaring into the triple digits. Another hot day is expected with some lower rain chances. I'll be breaking down more details on what you can expect coming up.
Also, new details emerging in court this morning from the Saenger Theater shooting. What was said straight ahead.
President Trump is heading home from the NATO summit after securing a monumental win. I'm Rebecca Castor in Washington with the details coming up.
First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome into Fox 10 Midday. It's Wednesday, June 25th. We're so happy you've joined us here on Fox 10. I'm Ashlyn Mitchell.
And I'm Jennifer Lambers.
Jen, I got to watch the sunrise over Mobile Bay this morning. It was beautiful. We're still seeing a lot of that sunshine. Any showers for the rest of the day?
Well, here's the good news is that we will start to see more of that sunshine, less of the rain coverage. However, there's a trade-off. It's going to be the heat. Yes.
I knew it.
I know.
Feel it driving
There's
in today.
always a trade-off for something. And today it's going to be those rain chances that are going to be on the lower side. But some of those, even though the coverage would be less, could still pack a punch out there. Taking a look at conditions across the southeast, calm and quiet for right now. Just starting to see some of that light cloud cover beginning push in. We'll start to introduce more of that as we make our way into the early part of the afternoon. Things pretty active closer towards New Orleans with some of those showers and thunderstorms beginning to ramp up. But here locally, it's calm and it's quiet. We have sunshine out there. We have another little bug friend out there on our Navigator Credit Union camera at the Battleship. Just starting to see some of that sunshine, those winds just out of the north. A little bit on the breezy side so far to start off with for this morning, but the temperatures just resting in the upper 80s, dew points lower 70s, so feels like temperatures closer towards 97. Those winds will continue just out of the northeast. So the good news is that they knock down the humidity just a little bit. Instead of those upper 70s, we're seeing more of those lower 70s out there. So temperatures all across the Gulf Coast starting to see those upper 80s and the lower 90s. However, feels like temperatures, despite some of the lower humidity, still warming up. We're seeing those triple digits popping up closer towards Navarre, Molino, Atmore, Lucedale just joined in there, Monroeville and Pascagoula. Reminder that Milton sensor likes to exaggerate just a bit, but still feeling closer towards 100 degrees. It's hot, it's toasty. Make sure you find some ways to cool down, stay hydrated, find that AC. But here's a look at the rain chances. As mentioned, they're lower today. However, we will start to see some of those stronger storms still possible, especially on the south side or right along I-10 closer towards Baldwin County and the Florida Panhandle. More of that pushes in overnight, and then heading into tomorrow, we resume that regular summertime pattern with decent rain chances in the afternoon and the evening. I'll break down all of those details that you need to know in your Futurecast. That's coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
Jen, thank you. We begin with new developments in the investigation into the deadly shooting inside the Saenger Theater during a children's dance recital. The case is now headed to a grand jury. Marcus Sanders is charged with capital murder in the death of Carl Williams. According to testimony, Sanders shot Williams multiple times inside the theater after the two got into an argument. Several witnesses testified during the preliminary hearing this morning, and they included a Mobile Police Department homicide detective, the girlfriend of Marcus Sanders, as well as Sanders' mother. According to testimony, on June 1st, an off-duty officer heard 4 gunshots from inside the theater shortly after 6 o'clock. MPD homicide detective Roy Graves testified 2 victims were found shot inside the theater, Williams and another female. Detective Graves also said a bullet was found behind the stage inside a projector where several children had just finished dancing. During that hearing, defense attorney Chase Dearman requested a bond be set for Sanders. Judge Jay York stated he would take it under consideration. Also new this morning, Atmore police arresting this man on your screen, Tyler Hall, for yesterday morning's shooting on Carver Avenue. Police say the 22-year-old shot and killed 17-year-old Gabriel Hooks and even injured a 20-year-old woman. Investigators say a large gathering of people were watching a drag race, and when it was over, that's when bullets started to fire off. Atmore Police Chief Chuck Brooks says he personally knew Hooks and that his death should be a wake-up call to put down the guns.
You've got to put the guns down. You've got to find a better way to resolve any conflict, and just know that a firearm is not the way. And I mean, I just can't be any clearer than that.
And right now, Hall is facing 2 charges, murder and attempted murder. Atmore police say they expect to make more arrests from that night. In the meantime, Mobile police arresting this man, 46-year-old James Marshall, for the Gaston Street homicide. Police tell us Marshall and the victim, 47-year-old Reginald Allen, got into an argument before the stabbing. This remains an active investigation. Of course, once we learn more, we'll update you on air and online at fox10tv.com. In the meantime, nearly 37 people were arrested after an illegal immigration raid at the new Gulf Shores High School construction site. Take a look at this eyewitness video showing the moments federal agents raided the new Gulf Shores High School construction site on the Foley Beach Express. One person who wants to remain anonymous saw the agents moving in and caught it all there on camera. We reached out to the city of Gulf Shores and the Gulf Shores school system, and they say they weren't aware of the raid at the time. The raid at that high school is the first time we're hearing federal agents making arrests at a facility funded by taxpayers.
They were shown the roof hatch access door, but the people that were hiding on the roof screwed it shut. So they sent a drone up into the air to keep watch on all of them while they figured a way to get up to the roof. Wow. And they did. They used a lift, and as they were coming up the roof, those guys threw the rope down to get down. When you're just sitting there on a normal work day, you've been working all day, you go on your lunch, and then you see that happen. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
It is unclear if the arrest will set back the school's completion date scheduled for next year. The school system and city, as well as the general contractor, releasing a statement. We have that on our website. And new this morning, President Donald Trump has wrapped up a successful NATO summit, securing major commits from other members of the alliance. But as Fox's Rebecca Castor reports, the president is still contending with questions about the effectiveness of U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear sites.
President Donald Trump is on his way home from the NATO summit after scoring a major win. All NATO countries have agreed to a massive hike in defense spending, pledging to invest 5% of their GDPs by 2035.
It's a monumental win for the United States because we were carrying much more than our fair share.
This is something Trump had been urging since his first term, and now the alliance is on board, with Russia still looming as a threat to their security.
We have to make sure that we can defend ourselves, and that is why we are doing this.
Trump also met privately with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, their first sit-down since a heated Oval Office argument in February.
Couldn't have been nicer. I'm going to speak to Vladimir Putin, see if we can get it ended.
But overshadowing all of this was the situation in the Middle East. In a leaked U.S. intelligence report calling into question just how successful the U.S. strikes on Iran's nuclear sites were. The report claims Iran's program was only set back a few months, while the president insists it's obliterated.
They presented a report that wasn't finished. We're talking about something that took place 3 days ago.
If you want to make an assessment of what happened at Fordo, you better get a big shovel and go really deep, because Iran's nuclear program is obliterated.
Israel's Atomic Energy Commission says their assessment is the U.S. and Israeli strikes set back Iran's ability to develop a nuclear weapon by many years. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
And listen to this now. An Iranian man was arrested in Mississippi on the day after the U.S. launched missiles at those sites in Iran. On June 22nd, ICE officers and agents arrested Youssef Maraida, an Iranian national and former lawful permanent resident. Now, according to the Homeland Security, the U.S. government terminated his residency in October 2017 after determining he lied on his original visa application and committed potential marriage fraud. In February, Maraida was listed as a known or suspected terrorist, and right now he's in ICE custody pending removal proceedings. Murayda is being held at the Madison County Detention Center. Overall, 11 Iranians in total were arrested in the United States over the weekend. Well, Pope Leo XIV is calling on Israel and Iran to choose a path towards peace. The American Pope spoke at his weekly Wednesday general audience at the Vatican, urging the warring sides to, quote, reject the logic of bullying and revenge. He cited the biblical exhortation, quote, a nation shall not raise the sword against another nation, end quote. The pontiff also expressed solidarity with all Christians in the Middle East and the victims of Sunday's attack at a Greek Orthodox church in Syria. In the meantime, a stunning upset in the race for New York City's next mayor. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo conceding to State Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani, now the presumptive Democratic nominee. The 33-year-old represents a younger generation of progressive Democrats and cleared his first major hurdle to lead the nation's largest city. Former Governor Cuomo conceded to Mamdani Tuesday night, saying he ran a smart and impactful campaign. The incumbent mayor, Democrat Eric Adams, will run for re-election as an independent and tells Fox this race is not over.
Mamdani was everywhere, right? He was very energetic, very effective at messaging, spoke to core issues that people care about.
I delivered for this city, and we're not going backwards.
Adams decided to run as independent after the Trump administration moved to drop federal corruption charges against him. Meanwhile, Mamdani plans big changes for New York. His progressive platform promises rent freezes, free city buses, and even city-owned grocery stores. Well, locally now, one Mobile mayor candidate receiving two big endorsements. Former Mobile Police Chief and Public Safety Director Lawrence Batiste and former Mobile City Councilman Jermaine Burrell dropping out of the race and throwing their support behind Barbara Drummond. Qualifying for Mobile's mayoral race ended yesterday. So with Batiste and Burrell dropping out, there are now 4 candidates left for mayor. And those include Drummond, former Mobile County District Judge Spiro Chiriagatis, Mobile County Commissioner Connie Hudson, and former Mobile Police Chief Paul Prine. The election is set for August 26th. Well, straight ahead on Fox 10 midday, the heat is certainly on in the U.S. Multiple deaths attributed to that big heat wave across the country. When some of the country can expect to see some of that relief, and Jen, it's hot here as well.
That is exactly right, Ashlyn, and no end in sight for us here locally for our summertime pattern, but hey, it's summertime on the Gulf Coast. We're pretty used to it. Taking a live look outside down on Dauphin Island right now. Things look great, a nice breeze, plenty of sunshine, a lot of folks getting out there and enjoying it, but temperatures getting toasty heading into the rest of today. Upper 80s on the island, even warmer inland. I'll be breaking down more of your forecast details coming up.
Welcome back into Fox 10 midday. The massive heat wave sweeping across the country, turning deadly Tuesday. And those sweltering temperatures are back again today. Fox's Matt Murphy has more on the effects across the country and when we can expect to see some relief.
The massive heat dome that sparked the first heat wave of the summer continues to beat down on cities from the Midwest to the Northeast. On Tuesday, at least 13 states topped triple digits, with some setting record-breaking highs.
It's too hot to be out here. It's too hot to be doing anything. Sweating bullets all day.
And while cities are cautioning their residents to be safe, the extreme temps have claimed the life of at least one person. A 55-year-old woman was found dead inside her sweltering apartment in Missouri after her power had been turned off for non-payment.
You never know, and I'm sorry to hear about things that go on like that.
Neighbors say the tragic case serves as a reminder to check on your neighbors.
Watch out for your neighbors. Watch out for especially our most vulnerable.
The extreme heat also taxing power grids across the country, with officials in the Southeast issuing emergency orders and urging customers to conserve energy.
Everyone wants to turn on their air conditioning units, and trust me, I would love to turn my AC on as cold as possible. But when that happens, everyone's drawing in a lot of energy.
Despite all that, there were still outages, leaving crews struggling to restore power as temperatures soared.
They said we'll do the best we can. The heat's killing them.
Better days are on the way, though. The heat dome is expected to break on Thursday, bringing much-needed relief for millions. Matt Murphy, Fox News.
Even though we're a little more used to those temperatures on the Gulf Coast, still a good reminder to be vigilant. Well, in the meantime, 20 people, including 12 children, were injured yesterday after a lightning strike on a South Carolina lake. Lexington County officials say it happened near Dominion Beach Park by the Lake Murray Dam. A dozen people were taken to local hospitals for injuries ranging from burns, chest pains, even cardiac arrest. Other patients were treated on the site and allowed to go home. We're told none of the injuries, though, were life-threatening. Local officials say there was one lightning strike and a large clap of thunder that hit the lake suddenly without warning. The National Weather Service confirmed a report of lightning in that area at 4:43 p.m.
Just another reminder, we've had quite a few stories over the past few days about some of the lightning danger out there, some folks being impacted by those lightning strikes. So just a really good reminder there when thunder roars, go indoors. If you start to see any of those storm clouds heading your way, get everyone inside or in a vehicle. Taking a live look outside right now. Luckily not having to deal with any of that for today. It's looking stunning down in Pensacola Beach. Just starting to see some of those waves breaking along the immediate shoreline. A lot of folks getting out there and enjoying it. It's nice. It's sunny. We're experiencing some better water conditions out there, but it is hot and we're only continuing to see that. Taking a look at conditions down in Gulf Shores and Pensacola, those temperatures right now resting in the lower 90s. Here's the good news. We have that northerly wind out there, so it's knocked down our humidity just a little bit. That's one of the main differences heading into today, is that our dew points went from the mid to upper 70s, mainly to the lower 70s now. So it feels like temperatures more in the upper 90s in both spots out there. It's still hot and toasty, but that lower humidity will be helping us out just a little bit heading into the rest of today, because it's going to be hot. This is not feels like temperatures. This is going to be the actual daytime highs that we are experiencing for today. Less of the upper 80s, the lower 90s. Instead, we're seeing those mid to even upper 90s. Look at Milton and Crestview anticipating a daytime high closer towards 97 degrees. But we are well above average for what we should be seeing. Typically, we should be around 90. Instead, we're seeing those mid 90s. Luckily, nowhere near a record for today. It's mainly the triple digits. That previous 100 degrees set back in 1914. Morning temperatures are starting off about where we should be, but we'll still be feeling like the triple digits. As mentioned, that lower humidity, dew points lower 70s. If we were still in the upper 70s with those southerly winds, it would be feeling closer towards 108, 110 degrees. We would be under that heat advisory, but we're not. A reminder, every National Weather Service office has different criteria. That's why some areas across the southeast, they're under those heat advisories. We're not, because this is actually typical for what we should be seeing around here. We'll be seeing more of those triple digits for today, but the lower 100s, not the upper 110 area, just because of some of that lower humidity out there. Now, taking a look at our futurecast, we're timing things out, and the rain chances also lower out there with some of that lower humidity. So we only have that 20% chance for today, but we will have the potential to still see some of these packing a punch. Heavy downpours, frequent lightning, gusty winds. Main area that we're monitoring, you're going to see it pop up here in just a moment. There you go. Closer towards Pensacola and Baldwin County. That's one that we're going to have to keep a close eye on heading into this evening. So really a favorable environment for just some of those stronger winds. Some small hail will still be possible. So in case you do have any of those evening plans closer towards the Florida Panhandle, southern Mobile, Baldwin counties, just keep a close eye on the forecast. Check in with Jason and Nicholas heading into tonight. We'll turn more quiet once that sun begins to set, but taking a look down at our local beaches. Low rip current risk for today, tomorrow, and Friday. That surf height closer towards 1 foot. Water temperature, it's gone up. It's going to be from a buoy sensor, so it's up at 88 now. It's feeling toasty out there. Taking a look at your sunrise and your sunset heading into this evening. Sunset in Mobile, 7:59. Pensacola, 7:55. Starting off for tomorrow morning, sunrise about around 5:50 to start off in both locations. But taking a look at the next 7 days. So today's a little bit of an outlier. We have hotter temperatures, lower rain chances, but as we do get closer towards the weekend, really heading into tomorrow, our summertime pattern continues with higher rain chances, temperatures around average, but still some high humidity, so feeling like the triple digits. There is no end in sight for this pattern to end anytime soon. So if you are making those 4th of July plans, it's going to be very similar to what we're seeing for this weekend. So do just keep that in mind for the afternoons. I'll talk more about your forecast coming up in just a little bit. More Fox 10 Midday is on the way.
Thanks for staying with us here on Fox 10 Midday this morning. The city of Mobile unveiling a special tribute to 6 Hall of Famers right here from the Port City. The Hall of Fame walk not only pays tribute to some of Mobile's legends, but the goal is also to inspire the next era of Hall of Fame talent. Fox 10's Dacian Smith was there for the unveiling.
Some of Mobile's biggest names in sports have been immortalized in their hometown. The Hall of Fame walk outside of the convention center is officially open. The idea for the Hall of Fame walk was first brought up by Cleon Jones about 7 years ago, who wanted something special to honor some of our local legends.
We need to get behind this and try to put this in our community so the people in the community can see what they produce.
The Hall of Fame walk features 6 9-foot bronze statues of Major League Baseball Hall of Famers Hank Aaron, Satchel Paige, Billy Williams, Ozzie Smith, and Willie McCovey, as well as Pro Football Hall of Famer Robert Brazile. The ceremony was an emotional one for family members who were on hand to see the statues for themselves.
My dad and all these greats, it's a long time coming. They went through what they went through during their time. It was hard, it wasn't easy, and I'm so happy that they're recognized in their hometown with these fabulous statues.
He's doing something that's probably never been done before. He's getting his roses before, it's all over. I mean, he's here, right here, witnessing it.
The same is true for the Hall of Famers themselves, like Billy Williams, who got to share this moment with his family.
When I look at these statues, I see Rookies of the Year, I see Most Valuable Player. We made a great contribution in the big league. We did that, and we were happy by doing that because we were from Mobile. We had pride in what we do.
Robert Brazile was also on hand with his family and says he never would have imagined having a statue in his hometown.
This is validation. We made it this far. If we don't go a day after this, we saw Robert Brazile being statuized in Mobile, Alabama.
With their legacies forever immortalized downtown, the Hall of Famers hope these statues will inspire the next generation.
Don't give up on your dream. You could do it because these guys here, the statues, they set an example for you guys, and we were glad to do that.
Now, I drove past the statues this morning. It really is an incredible area, so be sure to get that out there and check it out if you can. The city says it plans to install a pedestal near the statues so people can take pictures with them in the near future. Well, when we come back on Fox 10 Midday, gas prices are making it easier to travel for the upcoming holiday weekend. We'll have that story and more in your business headlines. Plus, there is a unique tea room over in Daphne. Fox 10's Vanessa Pacheco is checking it out in this morning's Very Vanessa. The time 11:26 right now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Fox 10 Midday. If you've never paired a rare book with a rare brew, you haven't been to Hawthorne. It's a neat tea room in Daphne, and Vanessa is there exploring what's brewing and what's on the shelf.
We are at one of the cutest spots here in Daphne. I am here at the Hawthorne. Joining me right now is the owner, Amelie Stroud. Okay, Amelie, we are having some tea this morning. Tell me, what are we having?
So right now we're gonna have some Darjeeling Earl Grey. It's one of our blends that we have here. I'll give us a little pour.
Okay, and then while you're pouring that, I've already tried one, you guys. It was delicious. What was that one?
That one was Showman's Rest.
Okay.
Which is a black tea blend, and it is very, makes me feel like I've got a cup of fall.
That's exactly how I felt. Now tell me about the teas that you offer here.
So we have over 60 teas, about between 60 and 80 teas, loose leaf. We have matcha as well, which has been very popular lately. And we can package any of them to go. If anybody decides that they absolutely love the tea that they drink when they come in, we can get them a little pack to take home.
That is good to know. Now tell me about the Hawthorne overall. I think one of the things that caught my attention was the aesthetic of this place. Tell me about that.
So we kind of designed it to look like an English pub in the front and then a Victorian study in the back with all of our rare books.
Yes, and that was my next question. You have a shelf full of rare books. What inspired that?
My husband has been a collector of rare books for quite some time, so it kind of started as a way to reduce some that he's collected over the years, but we've in turn just started collecting more.
So cool. I will say the space is amazing. Almost makes me feel like I need to have a British accent, but I'm not good at that, so that's the most you're gonna get from me.
It's very common for people to come in here and start talking in an accent.
I did notice that for a few people that walked in here. Now, Amelie, for anyone that wants information, where are you located? What are those hours?
So we are located on Highway 98 in Daphne. Our hours are Tuesday through Friday. We open at 8. We close at 6 p.m. except for Friday, and we're open until 9, so it's a good date night spot. We are open from 10 to 9 on Saturday and 10 to 4 on Sunday.
Good to know. Now, obviously, you have only been open for about a few months. You are trying to do some events later this year.
Yes.
Where can people find you on website, Facebook? Do you have any of that?
So our Instagram is just the Hawthorne Fine Teas, all one word. All of our announcements are there, and it is cross-posted on Facebook as well.
Love that. And I love this tea. Oh my gosh, these are amazing. I'm glad to know that y'all do package these to go, because I think I'm gonna package a few. Oh my gosh, I think maybe I'm becoming a tea drinker now.
That's wonderful.
Thank you. Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
And of course, we're gonna have all this information on our website, fox10tv.com. Click on the Very Vanessa tab. This is Very Vanessa. Thank you, Amelie.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, she said she's becoming a tea drinker now. She's been one. She's been drinking those chais lately and been enjoying those. Let's go ahead and talk more about your forecast and take a live look outside in Fairhope. More of that construction still taking place down at the Fairhope Pier. Nice breeze going, winds out of the north, and so that is just bringing in some of that lower humidity, but plenty of sunshine out there right now, and that's going to be the case all across our area. But those temperatures, they're toasty. We're resting in the upper 80s in both Fairhope and West Mobile, so out closer towards Mobile Regional Airport. Dew points lower, what I like to see, courtesy of those northerly winds. Instead of the upper 70s, we're seeing those lower 70s. Feels like temperatures still toasty, though, feeling more like the mid to upper 90s. Now, taking a look at radar, as mentioned, it's calm, it's quiet out there. We're seeing some sunshine, but also still just noting some of that cloud cover out there so far to begin for today. But timing things out in our futurecast, we do have the potential for more of those rain showers. Here's the good news. Lower chances. So you do have a decent shot of not seeing any rain for today, but most of this won't start firing off until we get closer towards 3 o'clock. So late afternoon, early evening, that's when some of those begin to pop up. Heavy downpours, frequent lightning, gusty winds once again possible. Futurecast, it's been doing a little bit better with our summertime pattern here now that we're straying away from more of those morning showers. So it still brings in the potential for more of those stronger storms closer towards the Florida Panhandle, southern Baldwin and Mobile counties heading into tonight. So do just keep that in mind. Some of those still could pack a punch with some gusty winds. Very small hail still possible with those loud rumbles of thunder. Remember, when thunder roars, go indoors. But that's about it for the rain coverage heading into today. Once that sun sets, the chances begin to fizzle out. But heading into tomorrow, that regular pattern of higher rain chances will resume because our daytime highs, they're going to go down. That humidity will go back up. So we have that short little breakaway for today, not bringing in too much relief, but it is bringing in some of those differences. So rain chances will be higher beginning tomorrow, heading into the weekend, especially higher in the afternoons. Taking a look at the temperatures for today, it's hot. We are above average. We're straying away from where we should be. We're maxing out instead of the lower 90s and the mid 90s, but courtesy of some of that lower humidity, our heat indices are soaring super high. So it's going to be around what we have been seeing, more of those triple digits, 100 to 105 for today. Stay hydrated, take breaks, find that AC. But over the next few days, those heat indices will only continue, and we start to notice it ramp back up once we get towards the second half of the weekend to kick off next week, which is going to be a holiday week ahead of us for the July 4th holiday. Rip current risk at our local beaches, low today, tomorrow continuing that way once we get closer towards the weekend. It looks great out there. Just make sure you're still being careful. Mainly checked in on some of those beach flags for today. Some green flags out there along with some yellow ones. Just make sure, regardless of whatever that color is, you're being cautious. Keep a close eye on the kiddos. Know what to do if you get caught in a rip current risk. Make sure your family also knows what to do. Be cautious of any of those floaties too. Seeing some videos of that on social media, but some purple flags out there. That's just signifying the jellyfish. Checking in on the tropics. We had our first named tropical system yesterday. It was short. It was weak. It was small, and it's already gone. It already fizzled out. That was Tropical Storm Andrea. We got one name marked off so far for the season, but now the Atlantic, the Gulf, the Caribbean are all quiet. Here's what I'm tracking over the next 7 days. It will be quiet here because we will continue that summertime pattern. And remember, it resumes heading into tomorrow with those higher rain chances. Temperatures around where we should be, but that humidity makes it come back. I'll talk more about your forecast coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
All All right, Jen, thank you. Well, more homeowners are finding themselves underwater. FedEx says tariffs will hit its business, and hitting the road this summer won't bring as big of a hit to your wallet. Fox's CJ Papa has your Wednesday business headlines.
A new report shows that more homeowners are finding themselves underwater, especially in pandemic boom towns. Many that bought new homes and took out mortgages now owe more than homes are worth due to the decline in real estate values. The shares of mortgages where homeowners are underwater by a percentage basis are most prevalent in Cape Coral, Florida at 7.8%, Austin, Texas at 4.2%, Lakeland, Florida at 4.4%, Northport, Florida at 3.8%, and San Antonio, Texas at 4.3%. Meanwhile, mortgage rates rose slightly last week. The mortgage banker's average for a 30-year fixed rate increased to 6.88%. Applications to buy a home decline, though refinancing applications increased. FedEx is expecting its business to take a big hit because tariffs on imports from China will result in fewer deliveries to the U.S. Its recent quarter was mixed. The shipping company says it has been seeing declines in shipping across the Pacific Ocean in the recent quarter since China to U.S. tariffs were announced in April. And gas prices are down for the summer driving season. The national average for a gallon of regular gasoline, $3.21, about 23 cents cheaper than this time last year. Analysts say plentiful supply is expected to keep prices down in the coming months, even with turmoil in the Middle East. Just over 2/3 of consumers said they would drive 5 minutes out of their way to save 5 cents a gallon on gas. CJ Papa, Fox News.
Meanwhile, the Trump administration's tariffs are taking a toll on toys. Prices for many dolls, stuffed animals, blocks, and games rose 2.2% between April and May. Analysts say that's an unprecedented increase, and it's largely the result of the U.S.'s new trade policies. Now, according to the Census Bureau, roughly 75% of the toys sold in the U.S. come from China, which is currently dealing with a 30% tariff from the Trump administration. Earlier this year, the fee was as high as 145%. And economists say the tariffs on China are forcing many U.S. toy stores to hike their prices, and they expect this upward trend to continue. In the meantime, job board websites Monster and Career Builder have filed for bankruptcy after merging last year. At the height of their popularity, the two websites ruled the online job board sphere in the late 90s and the early 2000s. The emergence of websites like LinkedIn and Glassdoor have since dethroned the former leaders in online job searching. Executives now taking the necessary steps to ensure a seamless transition, including selling their job boards and government software services to several buyers. Well, straight ahead on Fox 10 Midday, Chick-fil-A reigns supreme in customer satisfaction. We'll tell you why. Plus, elephants in Hungary are beating the heat with some water. Also, all right, Jen, are we surprised Chick-fil-A is tops again in customer satisfaction?
Not surprised at all. Now, this is the 11th year in a row for the Georgia-based chain to rank first among quick service restaurants.
I believe it. The American Customer Satisfaction Index is based on surveys of more than 16,000 people.
Chick-fil-A came out on top with a score of 83 out of 100.
And Panda Express and Starbucks actually tied for second with 80 points each.
Chick-fil-A's top ranking comes as its experienced 5.4% growth in U.S. sales just in the last year.
But that's actually the chain's slowest rate of growth in 20 years. I know I don't contribute to that statistic because I eat there multiple times a week. I'm not slowing that down.
Right, we're not slowing that down anytime soon. I like it. One thing that sticks out to me is that anytime you fill out the survey, if something went wrong, I'll always get a call back and a coupon in the mail.
Have you ever had anything go wrong in your order?
I have, yeah. There have been some issues, but you just let them know and they rectify it. Yeah,
I
they make it
honestly
right.
can't remember a single time they've gotten my order wrong, which it happens.
Right,
Even
it happens.
One of the busiest restaurants, truthfully, for chicken. So I've always had a great experience. Thank you, Chick-fil-A. Now I want some for lunch.
There you go.
Well, listen to this. Elephants in Hungary are getting a little help keeping cool.
A heat wave is spreading across Europe this week, with temperatures predicted to peak in the triple digits in Budapest tomorrow.
Yeah, Budapest Zoo's animal keepers are helping their elephants stay cool by spraying them with water.
Since the zoo's opening back in 1866, animal enclosures have been designed to help animals cope with the heat.
The zookeepers say they provide space to choose between between sunny or shady areas and potentially a pool. Look at them there cooling off.
I think they're happy about it.
They're actually my favorite animal. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did not know that.
I love them. I think they're so magnificent, so sweet. Well, it was a sight to see.
Get this, a moose on the loose in the middle of Colorado Springs.
Now that 650-pound animal is safe after an unusual rescue operation.
I'm here for this. Paige Reynolds has more.
A 650-pound bull moose cooling off under the summer sun after wandering a little too far from home.
We have a lot more moose in Colorado than people know.
This one found its way into Cottonwood Creek Park, hiding near the water in a busy urban area.
There's lots of willows down there, there's water, perfect place for moose to be.
But it wasn't a safe place to stay. Officers immobilized the moose, cooled her down, and then faced a massive task getting her out.
It took like 5 or 6 folks and a 12,000-pound winch to get her up the side of the creek, up to the truck area and then into the trailer.
This isn't where you'd expect to see a 650-pound moose taking a stroll through Colorado Springs, but today one got an officer escort, a hose down, and a one-way trip back to the wild. The moose was transported west to a remote area of Teller County, far from neighborhoods and heavily trafficked trails. Wildlife officials say dogs are often what set moose off, and encounters can turn dangerous fast.
A dog to a moose is a predator, and they don't like that. If that moose pins its ears back and wants to go somewhere and comes towards you, run. Get out of the way, because the moose will not stop.
Parks and wildlife officers say if you see a moose in an urban area, call them immediately. Do not try to approach, feed, or photograph it up close.
All right, Jen, I'm laughing because our producer said moose or meese?
Meese. I don't know. It's a
Meese
great
makes
debate.
more sense, right?
It does. It does. Not the mooses out there.
I love it.
There you go. Well, always just keep in mind, give them space. Stay away from the meese or the moose out there. Well, let's go ahead and talk more about your forecast. And just a reminder, it's a great time to go ahead, download the Fox 10 weather app. That way you're staying updated on the forecast. But also I did want to go ahead and point out something that as I zoom out, you're going to notice that big map of orange and how we're not included in it. That's going to be some of those heat advisories. I mentioned it earlier. It's going to be by National Weather Service office. Ours here locally is based out of Mobile. They extend closer towards Destin up into our inland county. So that's why we're not included, because we don't meet the very specific criteria. That's typically heat indices 108 and above. We're used to this heat. So that's why we're not included, in case you were ever wondering why we have that big map of orange, but we're not part of it. But let's go ahead and talk more about our forecast right now and a live look at conditions out there down in Orange Beach. Oh my, it is stunning out there. We just have some nice water conditions, waves breaking along the immediate shoreline. This is great, especially heading into a weekend that is going to be jam-packed here across the Gulf Coast, with a lot of folks getting out there and enjoying it. Quite a few folks out on the beaches right now for this Wednesday. Some sunshine out there. Temperatures 90 degrees, feeling more like 98 due to that humidity out there, even though it is lower in comparison to what we've been seeing for the past few days. Rip Current risk low for today, tomorrow, Friday. Water temperature right now in the upper 80s, but our day planner heading into the remainder of your Wednesday, we will start to see daytime highs warmer, calm, variable winds, but those rain chances, thunderstorms possible heading later on into this afternoon and this evening. I'll talk more about that and the timing and your futurecast coming up in just a little bit. Right now, a live view outside down on Dauphin Island.
Welcome back. An out-of-this-world high-tech tool will be used by scientists to study our planet, and they're giving us a first look at the incredible images being sent back. Patrick Cornell has that story, and take a look at this.
Brand new snapshots from space give us a creatively color-coded look at one of Earth's essential elements. The European Space Agency's freshly launched Biomass satellite is tasked with studying carbon storage in some of the world's most remote locations. Its first set of test pics give us a glimpse of what to expect. Vibrant hues show off Bolivia, with green revealing rainforests, red forested floodplains and wetlands, blue, purple, grasslands. The satellite's P-band synthetic aperture radar can also cut through deserts, such as this one in Chad, to detect subsurface features like the remains of ancient riverbeds and lakes, or give us a cool new topographic overview of volcanoes in Indonesia. The satellite is still being fine-tuned while in orbit, and scientists say once it's fully up to speed, it will provide crucial data on carbon storage, climate change, and the health of Earth's forest ecosystems. Back here on Earth, these ornery animals are back where they belong, but with big, full bellies. Wildwood Devon, a zoo in the UK, says the sticky situation started when 5-year-old brown bears Mish and Lucy escaped their enclosure. They darted straight towards a humongous selection of snacks, including slurping down a full week's worth of honey. Typical. These bears, potentially long-lost cousins of Winnie the Pooh, who will also go to great lengths to get a small smackerel of honey. Caught sticky-handed, both happy bears promptly returned to their den and passed out. Wildwood later saying it's happy for this tale and the, quote, smiles it brought to many faces, human and bear. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Okay, it's time for your 3 to know before you go today. Australian scientists are searching for super corals to help save the Great Barrier Reef. A series of devastating mass bleaching events in recent years have turned large patches of vibrant colors a bright white. The culprit is record high marine temperatures. Researchers are searching the globe to find coral species that are naturally more resilient to heat, acidity, and low oxygen levels. They say so far they've found nearly 40 species. Well, 4 private astronauts are now on their way to the International Space Station. The SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket lifted off from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida early Wednesday morning. The Axiom Mission 4 had been delayed due to a leak on the International Space Station. The private mission includes decorated former NASA astronaut Peggy Whitson, and she is joined by 3 space novices who will become the first from their respective countries of India, Poland, and Hungary to visit the space station. The group is expected to be in space for about 2 weeks overall, and there they will help carry out roughly 60 science experiments before they return home. Finally, it's a day to celebrate a popular southern staple. Today is National Catfish Day. The freshwater fish are named that because of their prominent barbels, which resemble cat whiskers, as we know. And did you know that these nocturnal swimmers also have no scales? Many catfish lovers enjoy coating the fish in cornmeal, frying it up for a crunchy delight, but the fish is also delicious, grilled or baked as well. The most common varieties for the dinner table are the channel catfish and blue catfish, and the catfish is also an excellent source of vitamin D. Jen, I miss my catfish from growing up on the Mississippi River. We had some amazing sandwiches that my mom would make. We have some good catfish down here too.
Have you ever cleaned a catfish?
I've not. Have you?
No, I've been scarred by seeing it done.
Wait, no.
Because it's almost like a clipboard.
It's a process.
Yeah, it's a process. And it's not a pretty process.
As long as it's fried in a beautiful sandwich.
Exactly. I'll enjoy the afterwards, not so much the getting there part. Let's go ahead and take a final look at your forecast right now and timing things out in our futurecast. Lower rain chances for today, but still isolated storms possible. So you're not fully in the clear. Higher rain chances are wanting to be brought in on the futurecast closer towards Baldwin counties and also the Florida Panhandle. Still brings in some isolated storms for our inland spots, but a reminder, it struggles with the summertime pattern. So higher chances to not see anything if you're one of the unlucky ones, or lucky ones, depends upon who you're asking. To see some of those storms, they could just contain some heavy downpours, frequent lightning, gusty winds, small hail, all possible as they could pack that punch. Rain chances fizzle out just after that sun begins to set, but over the next few days, we will resume that regular summertime pattern heading into tomorrow with temperatures around average, higher rain chances in the afternoon and the evening with more of that high humidity out there.
All right, what you're saying is soak in every second of today. Enjoy, lay out in the sunshine, get some vitamin D.
Stay hydrated.
Great reminder.
Yes.
All right, thank you all so much for watching Fox 10 Midday. We'll see you on Fox 10 Live at 3 p.m.